Today we're going to sign up for Octopus or transfer from our current plan to Octopus Intelligent Go, and at the same time I'm going to try and get from the Smart Export Guarantee to the fixed Octopus outgoing. We've got a lot of renewables here. We moved to Scotland, we lived there for 5 years, and we put a ground source heat pump in. We had solar thermal, we put a big 10 kilowatt solar panel system in. Kind of got hooked on renewables, it's just cheaper to run. So when we moved to where we are now, similar sort of situation. It's an old house, 110 years old I think it is, running on oil, so we've got rid of that. We've got ground source heat pump. This time we went with 2 boreholes as opposed to the ground collector, so we've got 2 120 metre deep boreholes. We've got a Myenergi Zappi for charging the car. We've got the eddy for doing the hot water divert, so when there's excess solar, rather than pump it up the grid, we can put it into the hot water tank. We've got Solar Edge 10 kilowatt solar system. We're over driving it, whatever they call it. We've got 15 kilowatts of panels, but it can only put 10 kilowatts into the inverter, so it just means it starts earlier and runs later because there's obviously a bigger array. With the battery, 10 kilowatt battery, so that can take us through the night in the summer, but obviously in the winter we have to use electric, so if there's no excess solar we have to charge the car. But the final piece of the puzzle has been smart meter. We had one fitted by British Gas 2 years ago now, maybe a bit longer. We've got no mobile signal, so of course it was just a dumb meter. Backwards and forwards, we managed to get onto the SEG Smart Export Guarantee, but that took a while to do, and even then it's only 4p a kilowatt for solar export, and you can't get smart rates for cheap electricity at night or anything like that. So we then swapped to Octopus, Octopus Energy. They're a much better company to deal with, even just on our normal tariff. Obviously the hope was that we'd get our smart meter working. We had a T2 aerial fitted, and we were told by the guy at British Gas we probably need a T3, but it's a big process to go through because there's not many of them actually in service. So fast forward a year now, perhaps a little bit longer, we've finally got a new smart meter fitted. It's with our current T2 aerial, and they kept the same aerial booster or whatever you want to call it, antenna box, and as of last week we've got a working smart meter. So now that's the final piece of this kind of jigsaw that we're trying to do, where we can actually now access cheaper electricity at night. We can get the Octopus Intelligent Go, which will basically take over the charging cycle on this Zappi, and during the night it will charge the car until we can put a specific amount in or whatever we want to do, but it'll take control of it overnight and use cheaper electricity to charge the car, so that's good. But now also we can swap from the SEG Smart Export Guarantee for the solar, the excess solar or surplus, from 4.2p a kilowatt. Now we can access 15p a kilowatt on the Octopus outgoing fixed. We're not going to go with the Agile. The Agile can go up higher, but it averages a lot lower. So I think it's going to be better for us to go onto the fixed. But that's all possible now to this. Now we've got the smart meter working. I'm going to put a link in, a referral link. So if you're thinking of going to Octopus, we do, and we're really happy with them. So if you use that link, we get to share 100 quid. So we get £50 each, which is great. I'll leave that in the description. The other thing we're going to do is if you go to Octopus Intelligent Go, you can integrate a couple of things: your heat pump, your battery, your car, and also the charger. From what I've seen, the car integration is can be a little bit flaky, so I'm going to go with the Zappi. And the other reason is I still want to use the surplus, because during the day, if the sun comes out, the electricity is free. So rather than buy it at night, I might as well use it during the day, and I still want to be able to do that. And if you do it with the car will ignore the Zappi saying, oh, there's excess solar. It will just say, no, I'm charging at night. You know, Octopus says, this is when I'm charging. So if we do it via the Zappi, we can still keep that functionality, which is quite good. Because obviously in the summer, I don't want to be charging at all at night when I can fill the car up for free during the day on the excess or the surplus solar. If you Google Octopus Zappi integration, it will take you to the Myenergi .com support page for the Zappi and the Intelligent Octopus Go. And on here we've got compatibility and configuration summary. Now on there it tells you what you need to set up on your Zappi. So things like latest firmware, make sure the Zappi mode is in Eco Plus, Zappi minimum green level, you've got to change that to 100%. I don't know why, but we'll go with that. And then date and time, accurate date and time required. So we've checked on the app, we've set it to 100%. We've checked that there's no schedules. We've set, make sure that the time's set via the cloud, so it updates automatically. And there, I think that's about it. Latest version software. So if we go into the menu and we go down to other settings, we want to first check that the current firmware is up to date. So if you press the plus button, check for updates, you'll see the status, it's up to date. If there was a new update available, it would show you here. Providing the car's unplugged, you can then click on update firmware, make sure it's updated to the latest software. The next thing we've got to check is the date and time. Now the easiest way to have this set is to have it update from the cloud. So that way the time and the date is always correct, because Octopus are going to want to know what the real time is, and they do that by logging into this, I'm guessing. So that's one of their stipulations. So that's fine. All right, if we get the Myenergi app open and go to Zappi, there's two things we've got to check on this. We've got to change the charging mode. See, it says 80, got to change that to 100. And then when that's done, we've then got to make sure that there's nothing in the schedules that's going to conflict, so that the Zappi is going to try and overrule the Octopus. So if we go down to schedule or schedule, we don't use that, so that's blank. Right, so that's that bit done. Right, so open the Octopus app, go down to Explore My Lab, and we want Intelligent Octopus Go for EVs. Get started. And I'm going to integrate a charger, because from what I've read, that seems to be the more stable way of doing it. Rightly or wrongly, here we go. Plug in your car, yes, done that. Make sure your charge limit is above your current charge. So, yep, it's basically flat, this one. Deactivate any smart charging apps. We haven't got any of that. Get started. Set up the charger. Smart. And it's the single phase, so 7.4. Add a car. And we have one of these. It's a C300E estate. Start tariff switch. Right, so we've just got to agree to the terms and conditions. Start my switch. Connected device. We need to log, there we go. We need to log into your Myenergi account so we can choose the greenest and cheapest times to charge. Go to Myenergi. I'll just do this bit and bring you back. Right, sign into Myenergi. Oh, excellent. Here we go. I think I know what this is. So I'm going to go back into Myenergi and have a look, because I think I've got 2 registered devices. Right, I think I've sorted that. What it was is we had our Zappi replaced under warranty. And although it wasn't active, it was still registered on my account online. So all I had to do basically was delete it. So it turns out you can have more than one Myenergi device, but you can only have one Zappi. Otherwise, Octopus doesn't know which one it's talking to, or it can only choose one. That seems to have sorted that. So let's do the test charge. Tariff switch started. Complete test charge to finish your tariff device connected. Go on then. So how do we do the test charge? Right. Right, well this is a little bit odd. Online already switched over to Intelligent Octopus Go, which has taken probably less than 30 seconds. But if we go to, it seems to be hanging on the, this is all greyed out now. I can't actually do anything. Complete test charge to finish tariff switch. Everything I've seen is it will do a little test charge to make sure it can control the charger and go from there. But it's saying device connected. We're seeing we're on the tariff, but I haven't got a schedule as well, which is something that normally happens after the tariff switch. They will send you a charging schedule for overnight. And we haven't got that, which is a bit confusing. I don't know if it's because I had to go back in and change this Zappi because I didn't go through it in the order, but how we've ended up with device connected, I don't know. So I'll have to update you on that one. We're only probably about 2 or 3 minutes after I stopped recording, but I closed the Octopus app and I can actually see my Zappi. So I don't know what this smart charging schedule, 1 to 1:30, 2:30 to 5. Now that's great, but something we've noticed with this Mercedes, if you connect it and you start charging, if we're charging from the excess from the solar, it will charge, and then say the sun goes in, it stops charging obviously because there's no surplus. But then when the sun comes back out again and it goes to recharge, it won't. The car prevents it from charging. So what you have to do is you have to press the lock button, and then it seems to reset itself, and then it'll accept the charge until the next time. So you have to kind of keep an eye on it. So I reckon what will happen is at 1 o'clock it'll start charging, at 1:30 it will stop, and then at 2:30 it will do nothing. But that'll be interesting to see. But I think that's our car problem rather than this system, because we already know that problem exists. But it looks like we're okay, and it didn't do a test charge, which is, I might try a bump charge. Yeah, let's do a bump charge. Right, okay, I'm going to do a bump charge, and this is just to see if Octopus can actually control my charger. Well, that's not a good start, is it? Look at this. Nope, it's not doing anything. Oh, now bump charging, right. Not according to this, you're not. Waiting for EV. Charging, I just saw that click over to charging. Charging, all right, okay. So, Octopus can control my, that's weird, so that didn't actually do a test charge. Right, I'm going to go back to Octopus, and then we'll stop the bump charge, and then go back to Myenergi and see how long that takes to actually stop. Bump charge. There's definitely a delay, but I kind of expect that. Ah, here we go. What's happening now? Is that winding down? Importing. You should be stopping. There we go. Right, so it takes a while, but it does control it. Right, we're winning. What I want to do now is I want to swap over from, currently we're on the SEG, Smart Export Guarantee, which is 4.2 pence a kilowatt for everything that we put back up the grid from the solar, the surplus, which ain't great. But because of the smart meters working now, we can sign up and change to the outgoing fixed. There is the outgoing agile, which actually goes higher. My mother-in-law is on that. We've just changed her to the fixed because although it would go higher, it was at peak times when you weren't necessarily producing a lot of solar. So the actual average was averaging about 8 pence a kilowatt. So we swapped her over to the fixed because it's 15 pence a kilowatt, and we're going to do the same. Now to do that, if you log into your Octopus account and then go down for tariffs for solar export, and then you can see the Agile outgoing Octopus or outgoing Octopus. That's the one we want. Yeah. Outgoing Octopus, that's the one we want. And you've got outgoing Agile or outgoing Fixed. And like I say, the outgoing Agile, unless you've got a battery and you're dumping a load off at peak times, I don't really think it's not the one for us anyway. We've got a battery, but we don't use it like that. We try and use all our own energy. So we're going to go for the outgoing Fixed. So if you click on the I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. You then have to log in. And then it's as simple as get your MPAN. So if you're already exporting, you'll have an MPAN. And I think they all start with 2100. I might be wrong. That's oh, hang on. And then the import appears on your MCS certificate, and then the MPAN for your export meter, that's the 2100. What technology you have, so solar panels, we have solar panels and storage. Does your property have the feed-in tariff? That was the old solar tariff. So if you were getting quite a high amount, you probably wouldn't be changing anyway, unless it's run out. We don't here. So no. And then your MCS certificate number, that'll be right on the top of the certificate, and it'll start with MCS. I think it's 17 digits, but I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. And then have you notified? Yes, we've notified. And then you have to upload a copy of your notification letter, and then which one you want to go to. So we're going for the Fixed. Click on the agree, send that away. Now, I do know that this can take up to 2 weeks. So once you click that button, just be prepared for a bit of a wait. Although I have heard if you give it a few days and then ring up, they can give it a little shove. They're pretty easy to deal with, Octopus, which is a lot of the reason why we went with them. Like I say, I'll put the link in the description if you want to go to Octopus. So far, touch wood, we've been really happy with them. So that's that bit done. This is a couple of weeks after I did this first bit. A couple of reasons. One, during my mother-in-law's it didn't click over, so I wanted to see that that was resolved before I say, yeah, it's a great company to go with. And also half term, you're not getting any filming done with young kids. So there's been a bit of a delay, but however, it's kind of given us time to live with it a bit and see how it went. First thing of note is the problem with the Mercedes, the not resuming charge, is sorted. No idea. The only thing I did differently, or the only thing I've done since making that video is on the Myenergi app, you can go in your DL section, wherever it is, and you can put in what car you've got. And I swapped that from our previous Skoda to this Mercedes thing. Other than that, I've done nothing. But the first night, it charged about 4 different occasions, which it wasn't doing that during the day when the solar was coming on or off. And it hasn't missed a beat in the last 2 weeks. So that's been really good. The other thing is we were away yesterday and we got back last night about 7 o'clock. Plugged the car in thinking that it was going to charge overnight, and it charged straight away. It was obviously a cheaper rate, which is fine. So it just meant that being on the Intelligent Go, we got even more, because we still get cheap electricity from 11:30 to 5:30, but we just got a little bit extra yesterday. I think it only charged for an hour and a half, but every little helps. So that seems to have ironed itself out. The app seems to be working fine. I haven't had to bump charge it because I've just got it set to 80%, and it probably doesn't even need to be that high. It's only really at the weekends where you want a bit more of a charge, but during a normal weekday, that's fine. But other than that, yeah, pretty seamless. We're over on the fixed outgoing now, so that's good. So we're getting 15 pence a kilowatt. Not that there's any sun at the moment. Mother-in-law's, she's over to the 15 pence a kilowatt, which is good. because she was averaging about 8. The car's charged every morning, and at the moment, perversely as it is, it's actually cheaper for us to charge it at night and then try and export all our solar during the day for 15 pence, because we only pay 7p a kilowatt at night. So far, the whole swapping problem, there's been a couple of problems. This morning I had to ring up Octopus because last night it swapped from fixed back to the SEG again. But I rang them this morning, and within a minute, 2 minutes, they'd swapped it over. And it was just a glitch in the system where one system was saying fixed, the other one was SEG, and they had a bit of a bum fight, and this one won. So it was only last night. Luckily, I looked at it this morning. But they swapped that over, and it's back on there now, so no problem. And that's the beauty of Octopus. I think they're easy to talk to. They answer the phone, which is always a good start, and you can speak to them. They're really good online apparently as well. I think if you're on Twitter or X, they put all their techie guys on that, and they're all literally instant. I don't do X, but however, anyway, hope this video has helped you out. If you're thinking of going to Octopus, use the link in the description, and we share 100 quid, so we get 50 quid each, which is nice. Check out my other stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.